I'm coming! Yes, I am here alone. I don't know if Taylor's going to make it or not. I didn't hear anything from her. She has an invitation. She might show up. She might not. So you got me again. God only knows what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to try to slow down here. I do believe my volume is on. It looks like it, though you can't tell by looking, can you? Let me look at my comments. See if anybody's cursing me. No, you guys never curse me. You guys are real good about that. And it looks like you can see me. Yes. So we're in business. This is the live streaming show for Penny Boys, for On Top and Hot, where we look at penny stocks you want to look at. I share penny stocks with you all week. This gives you a chance to bring us some stocks that we can put out there for everybody to see. So I see I've got my regulars here. I love my regulars. I wouldn't have a show without you guys. You do realize that, right? I'd have to wait for tickers to come in. I'd be sitting here just talking to people. Belmore, of course, she was first in line today, and Underdog was right there next to her. Not your business, coming in close third. How about that? Mark Ryan, I'm glad to see you here. I don't know if you're actually here. I know you've been working a lot, but I like to see that you've got ideas for stocks to look at. Kashera, we got yours in there. Hello, Carol. Good to see you. I have not done any preliminary due diligence on yours. I just didn't have enough time, but we may have enough time to get to it in this show if I get my button gear here. So let's do that. Let's make sure I hit all my buttons. Go real nice and slow here. We're not in any hurry. So we are going to take a look at SHOT. And for the life of me, I can't remember who asked me this. Somebody asked me this yesterday, and I said, absolutely, you're first in the queue. So we are taking a look at SHOT first. Now, I'm sure most of you are familiar with SHOT. We'll go through the information anyways. SHOT is an American company based out of Florida. She is on the NASDAQ, and she finished today at about 87 cents. She was down about 4%. Now, these stocks on the major exchanges have a lot more benefits than your stocks on the OTC. First off, they're free to trade, which can actually change how you trade. When you can buy into a stock over and over again, you can plan how you get in. You buy 25% because you don't know if it's going to fall. When it falls, you buy more at an average. But if you got to keep paying $6, $7 every time you buy or sell, you're losing your money. Up on the major exchange, it's all free. You can buy one share. It doesn't cost you a thing. You can trade pre-market, aftermarket. You can never do that with the OTC stocks. A lot of money to be made in those periods. Some of the biggest jumps I've ever seen. There's a lot more money, volume, and rules up on the major exchange, and we want all of that. The rules especially, because that's how we get taken down on the OTC. There's not as much oversight because it's decentralized. There's like 200, 300 brokers down there, where NASDAQ is their own broker. They're watching everybody like an eagle. So what is Safety SHOT all about? Well, you're probably familiar with this product. This is a drink that you take that reduces your blood alcohol level. And they say it does it by working with your metabolism. And they say that's what differentiates this from the other guys out there. Can't remember their names right now. Now, the big thing is they've put it into this little 4-ounce bottle. They had a big old can before, and if you've got a hangover, swallowing stuff isn't the most appreciative thing to be doing. And these little bottles go up on the counter. They're not all the way back mixed in with all the other drinks. They're right there when you're buying your cigarettes or your aspirin or whatever else you need for that hangover. You look down and you see that little bottle that works in 30 minutes where everything else takes a couple hours. So this is their big push right now. Safety SHOT was launched in the last quarter of 2023. Keep that in mind when we look at the financials, and rebranded as Sure Shot in the fourth quarter of 2024. The world's first patented rapid alcohol reducer, proven to help people feel better faster in as little as 30 minutes. In a fragmented category, Sure Shot's alcohol reducing effect is a powerful differentiator. I think it's a hot product myself. There's people get drunk all over the country except dry counties, and they're going to want stuff that works. And how many things out there really work on a hangover? That's why I quit drinking. I just can't put up with hangovers. They'll destroy an entire day for me. I party for 5 hours and I got a whole day I lose the next day. So what sort of information do we have? Jumping on over to the news, we see that they are expanding really big. They are getting this product out in a lot of stores we know and stores they're not even naming. Back in September, Safety Shot's game-changing blood alcohol reduction beverage hit 7-Eleven stores in Chicago. If you want to start in 7-Eleven, Chicago's a nice city. Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, one of those guys. In November, Safety Shot expands distribution to Chicagoland grocery stores. I don't believe we got any names. Also in November, the company expands reach into Metro Chicago. They are saturating Chicago. That's what I see here. Halfway through November, the company launches in USA Today's best grocery store in America. You know, there's a couple pieces of information. This one here. The company's rapid alcohol reducing beverage Sure Shot to be sold in 192 stores across Nevada, Arizona, and California. They don't tell us which store it is, though. Another one of those pieces of news, those little 4-ounce bottles are going to be sold at over 300 locations of a grocery chain recently voted best grocery store in America by USA Today readers in their annual 10 Best Readers' Choice Awards. So you got that going for them. And then the last piece of news, the company expands retail footprint with major grocery chain in U.S. Southeast. Do they tell us who this one is? No, they don't. So they didn't tell us about that one either. But I found another piece of news here. They are doing a spin out. They are taking their wellness unit and everything that's attached to it, and they are putting it together and spinning it out on the NASDAQ, I believe it is. And we are going to get shares in this. As part of the agreement to divest Caring Brands, Safety Shot will receive 3 million shares of Caring Brand stock to create value for shareholders. The company's board plans to issue a dividend of 2 million shares for Safety Shot shareholders. So with that in mind, let's just jump straight on over to the share structure. We've got 61 million shares here. They say they're going to give out 2 million shares to their shareholders. Now, I don't know if they count the insiders or not, but just based on that simple math right there, we would be getting 1 share for every 30 shares of Sure Shot that you own. Roughly, that's the way I figure it. I don't know what the float is, but it's not going to be any higher than 61 million. And anything under 100 million is great. Market cap for the company, we're at about 47 million. What was the relative volume on the company today? It's up a little bit. She's been at 672,000 shares a day over the last 30 days, which up on the major exchanges is under the radar. You're doing less than 1 million shares. She's still doing less than 1 million shares. She's at 750,000 today. We looked at the share structure. Let's take a look at the financials. How's she doing in cash? All right. I told you to remember when Sure Shot was patented, when it came onto the market. It was the third quarter of 2023. When you look here, you see some strong revenues back in 2020 and 2021. That wasn't this. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't this. It was something else. 2022, it fell all the way down to 120,000 and then jumps back up to 202,000. If I confused you there, it's because there's 3 zeros up there. We got to add to any of the numbers in these charts. And right now, they are losing money, $74,000. Quarterlies, they're still losing money. And the revenues are just all over the place. I really don't know what to think about this. They sound like they got a good thing going on. We just don't see any positive revenues generating anything. Balance sheet for the company. Bringing those 3 zeros over here as well. Cash equivalents. I think of that as the bank. We've got 1.3 million in the bank, 8.3 million in assets. Liabilities is just under 2 million. So we are holding positive stockholder equity for the company of 6.3 million. So they're making revenues and they've got some sort of profits every now and then, and we've got positive stockholder equity. So their fundamentals are not bad. And their disclosures, I would probably already grab these up if there was anything here to be seen. Dun, 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 dun. We got an 8K on the 15th. These are material change. I always poke my head in real quick and just read this top line. If it doesn't grab my attention, I don't go into it. This is just basically the news, and I think that's what all of them were. All of them are the news. Yeah, so they put out a news press and they put out a filing. And then you've got your 10Q right there, which was for 930, which was actually in the financials. They actually had that caught up. But if you want to see all the deals they're doing, what's going on with the company, forget about Google, forget about the news presses. Just dive into a 10Q or 10K. It has got all the information that the company's had since they have incorporated. So you're going to get everything in there. I do believe that covers everything here. I don't have Taylor here to do the charting, so that's my department. So let's jump on over there and take a look at SHOT. Yes, you're with me. Okay, we are looking at a 1-day, 1-year chart for SHOT on my free trading platform, Think or Swim. These blue lines here, this tells me when I've looked at the stock and done videos on it. I don't always do it, but when you do see one, that's why it's there. So I've looked at this stock 3 different times. Over the last year, most of the year, she was under the 200. We had a big rip here where she went from about $1.15 up to $7.50. Egads, over 600% run there. And look where we caught it. We caught this one in the video at a perfect time, but I'm betting most people sold too early. Now, in these sort of cases, folks, when you see a stock is running strong, of course, it's going to be dipping, but if it's not coming down under the 50 or the 200, there's a good chance she's just going to keep climbing if she's got volume. Don't sell everything. When you get nervous and go, oh my God, what should I do? Should I sell? Yeah, sell. Sell something. Scratch that itch. Sell 50%. Let the rest run. You've got some money in your pocket. The rest is running. You got the best of both worlds there. She keeps running. Sell some more. Sell another 50% of what you've got. Don't take your entire package all the way up. Sell on the way up. Don't talk yourself into thinking you're losing money. You're not losing money. You're normally losing it when you carry it all the way up, slip and fall, and everything falls with you. That's how you lose your money. Came back down. We caught it here a little early. She was still falling, went sideways. We looked at it again, another rip, going here from about $2.75 up to $4. That wasn't a bad run. Came back down under the 200, and she's been down here all this time. And right now, she looks like she was trying to get into a position to break out, but it just isn't happening. She is underneath every single MA on the 1-year chart, and all of our oscillators are drooping right now. Looking at our 6-month 4-hour, she is in a downtrend, but it looks like she was trying to get out here, and she's still losing it, and I don't see any strength here. She's underneath all her MAs. All the MAs are pushing down. Oscillators are pushing down. So everything looks like the price is going to be pushed down. She follows the lines on the chart, the lines on the oscillators. Take a look at our 1-hour. Downtrend, she's beating her head. She had a nice pop here, but 200's way too steep for that to be a breakout. It was just going to be a breakthrough. Came down, we've hit a low here. We bounced back up. We've been going sideways, and this would have been a chance for her to come on up. Come on up on top of that 50. She'd have been on top of everything in between the 200s, looking like a breakout. But she looks like she still wants to fall. Still looking like she is not ready to lift her head. Now, looking back at that 4-hour. No, I was trying to see if she had some light here. I just don't see it. Right now, she's on a downtrend, and she is right here on this strong support of 83 cents. And that's a pretty strong one. She falls down below that. There's a very strong likelihood she's coming down to 64 cents. So we don't want to see her break this at 84 cents. And she's at 87 right now. She does that. There's a very strong, you see, there was no break in this movement. This was a solid jump right there. There's no break in movement. So there wouldn't be a break in the fall. So if she breaks this, she's coming down to 64. If you're looking for an entry, that might be the one I'd wait for, is the 64. Because I'm believing with all the deals this company has got going on, money has got to start rolling in sooner or later, for God's sake. If it doesn't, you better change your management because you don't know how to run a business. All right, let's get down to the next stock. Before I do that, let's raise the ante on the bets. He's back. So what's going on over here, folks? Let's see. Okay, you can't see any of that. Let's see who's here. Carol was the last one I saw. The one and only Pop. Hey, great to see you. Can you tell us about our cat? I looked at our cat a couple times today, but we'll see if we have time for it later. Hit the like. Oh, great. I thought you were telling me I did something wrong. I thought Kashara was telling me I did something. All right, we're all good here. Great to have you all with me. Glad you can still hear me and see me. So let's ante up. Ha ha ha. We're back at it, folks. The next stock we're taking a look at is ticker CNSP. This is CNS Pharmaceuticals. This comes by way of request of Velmore, first in line most weeks. Not always, but she's here every week. She is a loyal follower, and I love her. So CNPS, what have I got here? Is clinical stage, no revs, 13G, 3%. All right, so I'm a little caught up here. CNSP, this is a U.S. company based out of Texas. She finished today at almost 13 cents, and she was up almost 3%. Another company on the NASDAQ. So this is an early clinical stage pharmaceutical company. Whenever I hear the words clinical stage, the first thing that pops into my mind is they're not making any money, and that was the case. That was the first button I clicked as soon as I read that. Clinical stage are doing just that. They're looking for miracle drugs. They're trying to find something, and when they do, they got to put it through trials. Trials take anywhere from, 3 to 8 years. 3 years if you're really, really lucky. You've got phase 1, which is for safety. That takes a year. Phase 2, which is for how good does your drug work, efficacy. That can take like 3 years. And then 5 years for phase 3, which pits your drug against every other drug out there that does the same thing. Top dog wins. So if your drug isn't better, you're not good enough and you failed. So all your investors have been waiting 5, 8 years for this drug to come through phase 3 and get to commercialization. And then, that's when you see a stock fall. So clinical stage drugs are in the early stages. And when they put them into these drug phase trials, they got to pay for every single month. They got to pay the people. They got to pay the doctors. They got to pay the institutions. It costs a lot of money. Where do they get that money? From investors. They do a lot of public offerings, or if they're doing their jobs well, they're stirring up business amongst big whales, big investors. So what did I learn about this company? They got lots of news. First thing you can see is all these dark yellow highlights. These are presentations where they're going out there stirring up excitement, trying to get people to invest in the company one way or another. Looking at the news, CNS Pharmaceuticals regains compliance with the NASDAQ equity requirement. This had nothing to do with the minimum bid price. This had to do with how much equity they had. Up on the major exchanges, they got a minimum criteria for everything. How many shares you have on the market, bid price, equity, stockholder value, market cap, everything. And if you don't tick all the boxes, you're out of here. Fix it or go down to the OTC. They're dead serious about this stuff. Then they had a $3 million registered direct offering. Direct offering means they didn't have to jump through all the hoops to get the shares on the market, but basically it's a public offering. And they got $3 million out of that and added more shares to the outstanding share count. At the beginning of November, the company was granted exception by NASDAQ to regain compliance with the minimum bid price requirement. So we're not out of hot water. We just fixed one problem. We got others. We're at 13 cents. The company cannot be under $1 for too long. If they are, they'll get a warning. They got 6 months to get the price up over $1. We, the investors, got to get the price up over $1. We have to get it over $1, close for 10 consecutive days over $1, and then they're out of hot water. If we don't do that, they are either going down to the OTC or they're going to do a reverse stock split. In either case, the investors aren't happy. But in all truth, after being through so many reverse stock splits, I would rather take my chance of having the company go down to the OTC and let me keep my bloody shares and let me keep my average price what it is. Mullen did 4 stock splits to avoid going down to the OTC. I was with her through all of them, averaging down, thinking there's no way she's doing another one. And now I've got less than 10 shares of Mullen, and they cost me $860 a piece. I don't like reverse stock splits. So given a choice, just go down to the OTC and don't screw your shareholders. Let's see then. There was some information about that. Right here, they have been granted an exception until March 11th of 2025. So nothing's going to happen to the company. So being a day trader, we don't have to worry about this. It's not like it's imminent and going to happen at any moment. But if you're getting into the stock for a long hold, and that's what a lot of people do with these clinical bio stages, the only reason you'd get into day trading is you knew a piece of news was coming out. That's about the only time they ever jump is when they get phase trial news, pop, and then bam, right back down because they know it's going to be another year or so before new news comes out. So if you're going to be investing in this, I would wait to see what goes on. You could buy in now, but there could be a chance they do a reverse stock split and you lose a ton of your shares. Got two more pieces of information here. I don't know why that's up. It's up because of this. That's why they're already talking about a reverse stock split. They're prepared. They have little faith that the investors are going to push this stock up over $1. They are asking for the stockholders to grant the board authority for sole discretion before the stockholder meeting. They want to get this done early to effect a reverse stock split of 1 to 2. That won't happen. Up to 1 to 50. It'll be closer to that. This is going to be for the board of directors to use at their discretion anytime they want. So they're asking for us to vote on this now, and I haven't gone through this to see exactly how you're doing it and when it's going to be done. So if you're interested, you may want to dive into this. But that's what you're looking at here. Probably a reverse stock split in the double digits at least. So what was the relative volume around CNSP today? It's up. She jumped from 27 million, that's more like it, up to 33 million. I find that really interesting that a clinical stage biotech would have so many shares being sold. Let's see what we have for the share structure. That's not bad. It's under 100 million by a long shot. Anything under 100 million, as far as I'm concerned, is good. And our float is going to be under 32 million. I don't know what it's going to be because I don't know how many shares the insiders own. Subtract that from the outstanding share count. That's our float. But whatever the float is, it's not bad. I'm not going to call it a low float, but it's a decent float. Market cap, we're at about 4 million there. Financials, well, I've given you enough insight to let you know they ain't got nothing. No money coming in. What we got to look at is that balance sheet. How much money do they need? Are they going to be coming after us? We already got a reverse stock split. You're going to do a public offering right behind it because you need some more money. Cash and cash equivalents, we're at 1.4, 1.5 million in the bank, 2.5 million in assets. Oh, no, we don't like that. 6.7 million in liabilities. So we have no revenues, we have no profit, and we are holding $4.3 million in deficit. Do you think these people in the company are working for free? The management? You think they get paychecks? Where do you think that money comes from? Right there, folks. We've been supporting this company until they start making money. I don't like to support companies. I want them to support me. Let's see. We are at financials disclosures. I just read this one. That was about the reverse stock split. There is your 10Q, the most recent financial. Obviously, there's not going to be a whole lot of numbers in there since they're not making any money, but there's going to be information about where that money's going, how much they're paying their management. In case you want to know, that stuff will be in there. So you may want to dive into that. All right, enough for CNSP. Let's go take a look at the chart for this. You're still with me? I'm so gun shy now. Okie dokie. What do we got here? Where are we at? That's the 4-hour chart. Wow. And liking that, you can see right here on our 4-hour chart, the 200 did catch up. I don't expect it to break out when the 200's falling. Poke your head through, yeah, like a periscope, just seeing what's going on, but you got to come back underwater. But right here, right where it got close, if this stock wanted to jump, that's when it's going to jump. Look how long it's had. Months and months and months of opportunities, and it hasn't made a jump yet. Just out of curiosity, what was its 52-week high? We were at, no way, really? I'm looking for a reverse stock split here. I don't see a purple bubble. That doesn't mean they haven't had one because it says they were at Right, there's no decimal up there. That says it's at $135. I had to look 2-3 times for the decimal. No, it's not $1.35. It's $135 November of last year at this time. Right now, we are at 13 cents. She hit a low of just under 10 cents way back here. Let's come on down to where we can actually see some bars. Try the 1 hour. All right, so this is where she was at 20 days ago. Yeah, at about 25 cents, hit this low of 10 cents, bounced off of our 200 haul right there. You can see that's where it's turning blue. She tagged it, pushed up to and through the 200. She's meandering around it right now, but now she's on top. She's been on top for 3 days. She's had a jump. She's come back down to the 50. She's not actually on the 200, not the 200 haul or the 200 MA. She's on the 50. The smaller the MA that the price is sitting on, the better the chance the price has to rise. It's getting lighter and lighter. It doesn't need a lot to support it. Think of each one of these MAs as being pieces of wood. This 9-day MA would be balsa wood. Breaks so easy. The 20-day might be plywood, pretty strong. Your 50-day would be a nice thick plank, and your 200s, those are 2x4s. So if she stays on top of these, she's a light price. She has a chance of bouncing. Right now, I'd be looking for a bounce, though it doesn't look like it. Everything is underneath that 9-day, and you can't climb until you're on top of the 9. So it looks like she is still falling. Oscillators put a lot of down pressure. Everything is pushing down on our 1 hour chart. Take a look at our 5-day, 15-minute. So there's our low bubble. We are at 10 cents on this low bubble. That put her up onto the 200. 200 was falling. Right here, she's gone flat. She's bounced on it many times to make sure it's steady. Bouncing off of it now with big drops as she's up on the 50, pushing up high, jumping back down to the 50. Now she's dropped to the 200. Ow! Wasn't expecting that. And she is, looks like she's tagged underneath the 200. Oscillators are all falling right now. She's meandering around the 200. We really don't see her going far from it, but it doesn't look like she's ready to jump anywhere. Doesn't look like she's ready to run. She's just hanging around her average price over the last 200 days, which is what she's been doing for a really long time, right? Just sitting down there. She has an occasional diddle pop. I mean, nothing really to get excited about, and you've got to time them, folks. I mean, you've seen how quick that last jump was right there? That came in the morning. Very quick, up and down, done deal, it's over. Why watch it the rest of the day? These stocks only pop when they get a piece of news or something comes out, and after that, it's a done deal and over. All right, that is enough for CNSP. Did anybody else stop in while I was busy over here? Boink. Let me get that out of your face. David. Hello, David. Evening, a bit late. That's okay. We've tweaked it. You didn't miss anything. I've been doing okay so far, so sorry to disappoint. All right, let us get into it. Hello, Mark. I'm good, thank you. Working more than trading, but doing good. Yeah, Mark is a regular over at Penny Boys in the morning. He started watching my videos, I don't know how long ago, and gives me credit for turning his trading around. And the last couple of weeks, I'm not lying, folks, he's been doing like 40 trades a week or more, maybe 70, and he's winning the lion's share. If he did 70, he won 55. You know you're going to lose some. Losing isn't the problem. You have to accept the loss. Do it humbly. It's part of the game. Just control how much you lose. When you set up a stop loss and a sell for a gain, you know how much you're going to lose and how much you're going to gain. And for every gain, you could lose 3 or 4 times and still be even. So he's been doing really, really well over there. But here recently, he just pokes his head in and out. So we kind of miss him. So I appreciate you, Mark. All right, let me get this down. That's been up there for too long, ain't it? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm not perfect. I'm working on it, though. Give me a break. All right, I'm pushing this button. I don't care if you go dizzy, have a convulsion. I'm getting this right. Next stock we're taking a look at. Oh, yes, this was hot today. IBG, Innovation Beverage Group. I do believe Mark brought this to us, didn't he? IBG, no, this came from Underdog. Hey, thank you, underdog. This is a good one. We were playing this in Penny Boys today. What we primarily do over there is just look for stocks that are running. You know, we always say you don't want to catch a falling knife. And that's what sort of plays we're playing. But we aren't looking for the top. That's the trick here. When you see traffic on the expressway, you know it's not going to stop from this entrance and that exit. It's just going to go. And that's what we're looking for. And we get in and set our stop losses and our sells, and we just take that gain. Even if it's keeping going, we take our gains. If it looks good, sell half and then sell another half. So we don't go looking for the ceilings, but we are looking for hot stocks. And this was a hot one for a while. When they're not hot anymore, we quit watching it. We're not going to babysit it and hope and hope. Nope, we just find another rocket stock and play it. So IBG, Innovation Beverage Group, they are based out of Australia. They finished today at $1.17, and look at that. They were up almost 48% today. At the end of the day, I can't remember what their high was. They did jump almost 38 cents today. What a jump. And that's good because this stock was under $1. They're on the NASDAQ, and I don't know how long they've been under $1, but that's got them over $1, and they closed over $1. So if it has been an issue, this day counts as part of their reckoning. So what is Innovation Beverage Group about? They tell us here that the company operates as a developer, manufacturer, marketer, exporter, and retailer of various beverages in Australia and the United States. Now, I think I can get you more information by jumping over to here. Well, let's start here. They do have more details for us. The company has a portfolio of 60 formulations across 13 alcoholic and non-alcoholic brands for which it owns exclusive manufacturing rights, focused on premium and super premium brands and market categories where it can disrupt age-old brands. IBG's brands include Australian Bitters and Bitter Tails, which are the big deal right now, Drummer Boy Spirits, Twisted Shaker, and more. So this is what's happening over here in America. They've just brought these over into America. They're Australian Bitters and they're Bitter Tails. Handcrafted in small batches, our flagship bitters is rapidly growing around the globe. Found in every major USA city? Really? We are actively creating the revival of cocktail culture, recently winning double gold in the Los Angeles International Spirits Competition. Our bitters are simply the finest bitters available. I've never had a bitter. I don't even know what the heck they're talking about. They give me a little information here. Bitter Tail delivers a modern take on classic cocktail staple, combining exceptional quality and unmatched value for unique offering, unlike any other bitters brand. A proprietary mix of 20 herbs and spices is seasonally sourced for optimal freshness and handcrafted in small batches. I have never had a bitter, but then again, I'm really not much of a drinker anymore. So this is what they are doing, but they've got other sort of brands too. These are just the ones they're bringing to America. They've got their shakers down here. They've got their Drummer Boy. The information we got comes from news. I am back here to September 26th when the company announced pricing of a $5.4 million initial public offering. So they got money. We got more shares. The company, through Cisco, the global leader in food service distribution, announces Australian bitters now available nationwide in the USA. That came out at the beginning of October. And then at the end of October, the company receives their largest shipment of its top-selling bitters to date in the USA. And then November 19th, the company's to boost sales of its bitters brands in the U.S. through strategic alliance with Ridge Spirits and Wine Marketing. So they've got distributors now in the country. Now, we just got done reading. I don't know if it was just something they said off the top of their head or they literally meant in every city. Are they in every city? I mean, that's a big deal there. I kind of think that was just something they said glibly. But they are pushing this right now, and it is their big push. Seems to be all the information I actually have. So let's take a look at the stock. Relative volume. Look at that explosion. Oh my God. 767,000 shares a day as an average for the last 30 days, less than a million on the major exchange. Today, she's closing in on 12 million shares. Wow. I guess these bidders are a big deal. Share structure for IBG. That's looking good. And all right, so this isn't updated. This is from December 2023. They said they just did a public offering, so there's more shares. It wasn't a huge number. So, I'm expecting maybe 4 or 5 million more shares, somewhere around there. Right now it says 7.7. We could be closer to 12 million, just a guess. And that's a wild guess. I don't know what the insiders own. I don't have any clue what the float is, but it's going to be low. We're way, way down here. So I got no problem with the share structure, whatever it is. Market cap is probably different too. Right now it says we're at 6.1 million. Financials. What kind of money are they making? Steady, regular money. It's up and down. They're doing between 2 and 4.5 million every year, and they're bringing home steady profits. Taking a look at the quarterlies. We don't get them here. That doesn't mean they don't have them. They just didn't show up here. Balance sheet for IBG. Looking at the quarterly balance sheet. Not a lot of money in the bank, $14,000. Assets, almost 5 million. Liabilities, 4.3. So we are holding positive stockholder equity. It ain't a whole lot. It's a little over $500,000, but they're making revenues. They're making profit. They're holding stockholder equity. It's all green or in the black, as they like to say. And disclosures for Innovation Beverage. We got a 6K that came out yesterday. This is the news. Last one we just read. 10:30. This is probably another piece of news. Yep, expanding their network. And 424B3. This is probably about some shares. Yeah. So it wasn't all that many shares, was it? No, it's only 1.4 million shares, not 4 or 5 million. So we're under 10 million outstanding. We're under 10 million for the float. So it's all looking really, really good to me. That does it for IBG on the textual side. Let's go take a look at the charts and see what they look like. Yep, you're with me. I am so gun shy. IBG. Get rid of the rest. Yes, Innovation Beverages. Going back 1 year, let's get our 52-week high and low. That kind of looks like that could be where it started. Yes, that's where it started. Now, if I go back 4, yes, it is. All right, so I can actually see this on the 6-month, 4-hour. Looks like this company came onto the market with this ticker on, what do we got there? September 26th. She hit a high that day of 335, coming on the market at about $3. Not real exciting. And she took a dive after that, which is really par for the course. I have seen IPOs this last month. As soon as they come on, Damon just came onto the market. That was a spin out by, I can't even remember the company, but I finally got my free shares. Well, as soon as it came on, it fell almost 50%. That's just what happens. I don't know why. So we went from 335 down to this floor of about 75 cents. Here comes our 50-day MA. It is boss on the board. There's no 200. She should have tried to break out. Well, she was late. She had a pop here, but that was it. She went up high and then came down low. And she's been under the 50 for a long time. Right here, this is on the 14th of November. We did take a nice jump. She went from 70 cents up to $1.80. So you're looking like 150% jump, but right back down to that 50-day, which is her strongest MA. And now she's starting to jump and pump. Got lots of volume that came in today. And all of that volume has really turned all of our oscillators. Every single one of them is looking great right now. Come on down to our 1 hour, 20-day. Well, we've got a change of trend happening here. There's our 200-day MA falling, going flat right here. When did she get on top of it? When it went flat. That's when you have your breakouts. Now, I'm not calling that a breakout, but that's when she changed. She got on top of the 200. She's in the air now and not underwater. You can fly when you're in the air. So she's meandering around here, and then she took off into the air. She went, and this is all day, all after market. So you can see these aftermarket, pre-market periods are very volatile. We had a lot of climb and then a lot of fall. So people who got out of the market here and didn't look, came back in here the next day, could not believe what had happened while they were gone. All the way up and all the way back down. It's like it purposely waited for them. She continued falling. Now we've got a 200 she's bouncing off of, and we're getting a good push. And right now she's climbing after market again. All of our MAs are climbing. All of our oscillators are climbing. Every single line on the chart and on our oscillators are going up. That's a winning hand right there. Taking a look at our 5-day, 15-minute. Our rip, our dip, fell down, sideways. Right here, she's taken off, and I can't see any reason why she took off. Maybe the news, maybe the filings. She did take off. She came back down to this strong support here, and that's what these are, my SNRs, my supports and resistances. This is how I set up my trades. Right now, she's down here. If this was the day, I would be placing a trade right here to get in there, and I would get out right there, and I would place a stop loss right there. Never anything on the support and resistance, because that's where the price likes to bounce. That's where it changes directions. So when it gets over it, it normally likes to climb to the next one. So I'm going to get in there, get out there. If it's still climbing, I'll sell 50% and then sell another 50% up there. But I get ahead of the price and I wait for it to come to me. Even if it was way down here, if the price was there, I would still wait for it here. I would not buy it there because it could easily bump its head at any point and change direction. I want it over the speed bump. Let's get rid of all those little lines now. Here we go. Okay, so where are we at here? The 15-minute. Looks like we got a cup and handle forming there, but we didn't get the handle. Well, no, she's right there, isn't she? Exactly on the money. Oh, you can't see it like that. Here's the top of the cup, come down and right back up to the exact same line. So what we need for a cup and handle to play out is it needs to fall now. We actually are looking for it to come down 1/4 or 1/3 the depth of this, of that cup. Come down 1/3, 1/4, and then you get a push off. Now, normally you get the depth of the cup as the push off, but that doesn't mean it'll stop climbing. That push off can excite a lot of people and bring volume in, and all of a sudden that was the pre-launch. Now she's really running. So she's in a great position, folks. I like the chart. All the lines are climbing. Price is climbing. We've got a nice bullish pattern setting up. This is looking good. I'd be putting IBG on my watch list. I'm sure it's going to be on Penny Boys' watch list tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to get a drink while I come back and visit. I heard that. Who's taking odds? Got it out. A little bit of nicotine too. All right. Has anybody joined us? John, there's a buzz about CN. Oh, I thought you were going to say there was a buzz in my volume. I'm so panicky now. There's a buzz about CNSP. That news is coming out tomorrow. Well, that's something, because biotechs, you normally don't get any heads up except maybe an insider buy. You know, if there's a good report coming out for a phase 3 trial, the insiders may buy a bunch of shares just before that news press is released. You wouldn't have a clue the news was coming out, but you saw the insider buys, and normally it would be a group buy, not just one insider, a whole bunch of them. So maybe you ought to check and see if any insiders are buying something right now. Thanks for the heads up, Belmore. We like Belmore. She's always looking for stocks that are hot, and she's looking for stocks that are cheap. She's down there where I have not been spending as much time as I used to. All right. Aha. None of you got what you were looking for there. Yeah, that's okay. I'm happy. We got another hot stock here that we were playing today over at Works. This was jumping and bumping today. Who brought this to me? Mark Ryan brought this to me. Mark, thank you very much. I appreciate you bringing Penny Boys hot stocks over here. They're worthy of considering. We do trade a lot of different stocks at Penny Boys. Some of them are $150, $500, $60. Some of them are $1. But I'll tell you, the ones that run the best are the ones near $3, $5, $6. These are the ones that just run silly. You find one and it'll go to $17 from $2. And it's like, wow. And you don't have to try to find the ceiling. You just keep taking pieces out of it. As it gives it, you take it. It gives it again, you take it. You don't wait for it to pile up. You just keep taking it as it throws it on the pile. So Works, ticker WRX. This is SC Works Corporation, a company out of New York. Finished today at $2.12. Look at that. Up 116%. Went up $1.14 today. We're at $2.12. So she was under $1 when she started. So this is another company that is on the major exchange. Being under $1 is the danger zone. We're way, way out of that now. So what is this company about? Okay. SC Works Corporation develops and markets healthcare information technology solutions and related services to improve healthcare processes and information flow within hospitals. All right, this is a tough one to explain because it's very dry. They are a data management company, and they manage data for all these different hospitals, all different kinds of data, whether it be for the patients, for the doctors, for medical procedures, for products, whatever it may be. They've been working on a linear basis. I can't explain what that is. They're now working on some other basis. They have got something called, let me see if we can find this in the news. We got any news over here? No, that's why we're not over here. They do have a product that they've given a name to, which they say helps everybody who uses it. They say hospitals are spending 30% of their budget on data management, and this product can help them save a lot of that money. Now, as you can see, maybe you can't, I don't have any other windows up here. There's just no information to grab into. This is periodic reporting listings, not real news. Coming over here to the disclosures, we've got a 10Q. We could dive into that and get some information about what the company's doing right now. I would like to know who they're doing business with. I'd like to know who they have contracts with, and you're going to get all of that in a 10Q. We got an 8K here. This is back on the 4th. Let's see. They're doing something with their board of directors right now, which doesn't sound important, but you take away some board of directors and don't replace them, you can get kicked off the major exchange. You got to have a certain amount of board of directors and all this stuff. So we haven't got anything going on over here. So let's see what we've got going on in the, what the, wow. So I can't find a catalyst. There's got to be something out there somewhere because we got 143 million shares that have moved today. I'm running over here to Twitter, folks. I'm going to see if this company has got anything. Come on now, go. Don't hold me up. Works. There's got to be a catalyst. You don't have your volume jump up that high and not have something. Please let there be something here. Healthcare. Any news? We can get the latest news. See if anybody's Cerix. No, nobody's punching up any news now, are they? So real quick, let's just jump over here to Google. We'll put in the company, jump over here to news, jump to my tools button. I'm going to go by date so I get the most recent piece of news here. And no, they're just letting us know the stock is bouncing. SC Works announces compliance with NASDAQ listing standard. Right there, folks. I wonder what this was for. The price? No. That's right. The 3 or 4 that they had to get in, including an annual report. Now, this is a big deal. You don't have these, you will definitely get kicked down to the OTC. And if you don't have them on the OTC, they'll kick you down to the expert market. Talk about a fall, all because you didn't have your financials put in on time. Down in the expert market, nobody can trade your stock unless you want to sell for dirt cheap. And you'll stay there until they get their financials caught up. And then they'd come back onto the market, but they'd be stuck down at the OTC. So this was good news. This was huge. This is why they are running. This makes sense now. All right. So now we're back in the game. 143 million shares compared to 40,000 shares. Wow. Share structure for the company. Oh my God. This is why she was flying with that much going on. 143 million, and she's only got roughly 2 million shares. That means every share had to sell at least 70 times today. 70 times. Supply and demand. There aren't enough shares. People want to buy them, and the sellers don't want to sell them. So they start asking more and more for them, like they do for plywood during hurricane season. Next thing you know, you're paying $200 a sheet of plywood. That's what happens. That's what happened. Wow. And we've got a float here, they say, of 1.3 million with the insiders owning about 500,000 shares. Market cap for the company, we're just under 2 million. Are they making any money? Yeah, but it's been tailing off. 4 years ago, we were at 5.2 million. At the end of 2023, we're down to 3.8 million. Profits aren't bad, though. I mean, considering how much the revenues have fallen, our profits haven't fallen that far. We're up there about 1.3 million. Quarterlies, she did fall a little bit. We were at like just under a million at 900,000, dipped to 800. Now we've dipped to 740. So we are trailing downhill a little bit, but we did jump in profit. Less revenues, more profit. I like that. Balance sheet for the company. Not a lot in the bank, $17,000. Total assets, we're at about 6.5 million. We're on the right one. And total liabilities, 3 million. So we are holding stockholder equity. So again, the fundamentals aren't bad. We've got revenues, we got profit, we got stockholder equity. Things are growing. They've just gotten out of hot water with NASDAQ. Everybody's looking at the company right now. It's definitely time to watch it. This is going to be on my watch list tomorrow, Penny Boys. All right, let's see here. Yeah, see here. Here's a 10Q. That was just filed. I don't know why it took so long for this to come out. That was for June 30th of this year. Another 10Q for March of this year. That came out the day before. There's the annual report that came out for last year. They all just came out. And then right there is another one. Boom, 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 boom. That's big news. Now I'm understanding everything. Okie dokie. Let's go take Works and jump on over to the charts and see what she looks like. Although I've been looking at this all day. All right, so what do we got here? Let's go all the way back to a year. That'll work. Oh, look at that. Perfect timing. So we've got a 52-week high here of $4.44. That hit us in March of this year. We hit a 52-week low of 75 cents. We just did that a week ago. Now, what I see here is that it was perfect timing for a breakout, and maybe that's why the news came out. The 200 was falling here. We had a nice push through, but it wasn't going to stay up there, not with it falling at that angle. Once it started going flat, you can see she's leveling off here. She's not totally flat, but boy, she's getting super close. What do we call that? I call that flat. When did it break out? When it went flat. Call it coincidence, call it habit. Whenever the 200 goes flat, if there is any intentions or eagerness in the stock to want to climb, it's going to do it. And this was a perfect flash right there. Volume came in, look at our oscillators. Every single one of them going to the moon. What a beautiful yearly chart. Let's take a look at our 4-hour, 6-month. Wow. Still got our high of $4.44, crushing through that 200. Here, as soon as the 200 got close, she made an attempt to break out. It wasn't a full breakout, but she wasn't abandoning it. She is still jumping and bumping, trying to get up on top of there. Hit a low here. Now, this to me, since she was hanging on to the 200 so tight, and all of a sudden she drops to this 52-week low, that to me was a buy sign. This, first off, it is a flashing for sale sign, being a 52-week low. You have shoppers out there that look for low bubbles, and then go check out the fundamentals. And if the company has stockholder equity, revenues, profit, if it looks good, they will jump into that stock. And normally you'll see it jump immediately. Now, this did not jump immediately. It did come back up, I'll grant you that, but it primarily went sideways. But once that 200 went flat, she took off, folks, and she ripped all day, all yesterday, all today, all yesterday, aftermarket, pre-market. This has been a solid run. Everything is still ripping. Nothing looks like it's cooling off right now. Coming down to the 1 hour view, well, she's still climbing. She's floating on that 9-day MA, and that's my telltale sign here. I'm watching that this does not get too far away from our 20. Now, we had a big drop here. She came down, and I'm wondering if on the smaller chart, she's hitting an MA with that. As long as she stays on top of this 9-day MA, I'm confident that she's going to keep growing. She starts pulling away from the 9 days. She's going to come down, break that cracker thin piece of wood, and come down to the 20, which is way down here. And with that big of a fall, she's going to have a lot of momentum and velocity. Chances are she's going to break that plywood and end up coming down here. Now, of course, that's going to be further up at that point in time, but that is a big fall. Oscillators, they still have strength. They've cooled off a bit, but everything is starting to climb right now all over again, and our RSI is right underneath the overbought. She was in overbought for a very long time. Take a look at our 5-day, 15-minute. I'm liking it. So here is our crouch. She crouched down underneath the 200 and then took that pounce, got up on top of this strong support right there, jumped. And this is where we were making our plays today. We were setting up between these spreads, and that's it. We didn't worry about it going on anymore because we would have been out right there. And you see why? Look at that. It didn't touch, did it? That's why we get out just underneath. What's just underneath? Well, you know, this is $2.80 up there. I'd have probably come down a nickel. And you're going to go in about a nickel over top. So there's like a 10 cents difference there. That's what you would be risking, 10 cents. And you would be going up to 298 from there. So that's like 18 cents. And if you're buying 1,000 shares, that's going to give you $180. So you are risking 10 cents down here for an 18-cent gain. It's a little close there, but you see how tight that spread is? Choose your spreads. You don't have to play the very next spread. We had a very big spread here. That spread here, folks, actually went from $1.70, oh my God, up to $2.11. This was over $390 right there, folks. That was a huge play. And you would come in and put in your stop loss just underneath. If she falls, take your loss. Take your loss. Don't worry about it. But you want to get this stop loss down underneath your dips. You see that dip right there? That could easily have come down and caught your stop loss. So my stop loss is not low enough. I would probably want to be down there, actually. And when you're doing this, you've got to calculate how much you're risking, because every time you lower your stop loss, you're risking more. But without a stop loss, you're risking everything. Once it starts to fall and goes into a down dive, what are you going to do? Sell as diving? Probably not. You're going to start hoping it bounces, and it's going to keep falling, and you're losing more money. Stop losses save your assets, folks. I'm telling you, get used to using them. I know it doesn't feel right, but it's like driving a car without brakes. You would never do that. Okie dokie. I am liking Works. Works is going on my watch list tomorrow. She looks like she's ready to climb. All of her lines are looking strong. She doesn't look super strong, but she can pop. All it takes is some strong volume to come into the picture. Volume is down right now, but once the volume comes back, that's when you want to play a stock. Catch those runs. Now, if you're swing trading, folks, you want to catch these on the bottom of these supports as she's bouncing. Catch it as she starts climbing. Get yourself an entry, but only buy part of what you want. If you're going to hold on to it for a week or a month or a year, it could go down again. Absolutely. And aren't you going to be upset if you bought 100% and it goes down, way down? But if you only bought 25% and it goes way down, you can celebrate because you can buy more, another 25% or maybe 50% way down here at this low price. And then when she climbs up and passes your first entry, then buy the last of what you want. You may pay even a little more. Don't worry about that. It's not the cheapest price. It's the best price. And you want to get in when the stock is climbing. So when she gets past your entry point, get the rest of what you want and let her go. Okay, that does it for works. Let's see what's going on over here. Got no more comments, no talk. I know you miss Taylor. I miss Taylor too. She used to talk to you and take care of all the stuff that I don't do so well. All right, do I have anything else here? Let me take a quick look. I'm not leaving. I'm just looking. Yes, I got two more. I do. I got two more to share with you. So let me come back here and hit my button. Dun, da, da, da. Wasn't going to forget that. And this button up here. We are now taking a look at a double dipper. Yeah, Mark. I only added this because it was looking slow. I didn't look like I was going to have a lot of stocks to look at, so I threw it in there. We're going to look at it. This is DBGI. She came up on the internet today. Some buzz I did hear. I don't know what for, though. Digital Brands is another company out of Texas. She finished today at 12.7 cents, and she was down about 6% today. Again, another stock on the NASDAQ. So what does Digital Brands do? Looks like they are an accelerator company. You can think of that as a holding company. They like to pick up brands and build them up, make them popular, and get them out there. And from what I understand, Digital Brands works primarily with clothing, leisure wear. Nothing real special, nothing real fancy. It wasn't my cup of tea. But they've got about 4 or 5 different subsidiary divisions that sell their own unique brands of clothes. And that's what they're doing. DBG announces marketing partnership with Vayner Commerce, already resulting in 34% increase in digital revenue and 7% increase in average order volume. They do sell their clothes e-commerce online, but they also sell them in brick and mortar buildings as well. DBG partners with LTK, a large influencer platform, receiving strong interest from influencers with first influencer videos launching next week. So people like me are going to be wearing their clothes, talking about their clothes, doing videos about them. Okay, got to do business, and it is the new way to do business. So they're doing that, and that was yesterday's news. They say they're going to be doing that next week. If it has any impact, you'll probably see the chart start to move next week, maybe. I mean, you know, people are going to be talking about it on YouTube and TikTok and wherever else they put videos these days. All right, let's see what we've got for information. She's doing about the same. I mean, she had a wee bit of increase in her volume. She's normally doing a little over 26 million, and she did a little over 26 million today. Share structure for DBGI, we got a low float. Not that I have a clue what it is because they don't tell me. Outstanding share count is 2.6 million. Subtract whatever the insiders own. That'll give us our float. It's low. It's going to be less than 2.6 million, which is outstanding. News, we did look at financials. Well, that's pretty impressive. I wasn't impressed with their clothes, but, you know, I'm an old man with a beard. What do I know? Their revenues have been increasing every single year, jumping from 5.2 million up to almost 15 million at the end of 2023. And their profits are growing fast and hard too, really picking up. They got a good profit margin on their clothes. $6.5 million. Oh, we do get quarterlies over here, and they're doing steady. They're bouncing around here from 2.7 million up to 4.4 million. And right now we are at about 3.4 million. And they're bringing home regular profits. So things are looking okay here. Balance sheet, not a whole lot of money in the bank. They've got it working for them probably. Got 92,000 in the bank, about 25 million in assets. 22 million in liabilities. So we are holding positive stockholder equity, just shy of 3 million. We got revenues that are growing quick. We got profits that are steady. Things are looking good fundamentally. Disclosures for DBGI. Had an 8K come out. I bet this has to do with the news. Let's see here. Digital Brands has news. Yes, no problem. 10Q, this is an amended version. There was their quarterly report that just came out a week ago. I keep telling you, dive into there if you want to know about the company. 8K comes out with it. I'm not sure which 8K it was. This is an amended one. Something was not right in this one. They fixed it. Sometimes they tell you what they fixed. Sometimes they don't. Good luck finding it. Let's see if this is the financials. Yes, that's the financials. And what about this 8K then? No, that's news too. So that's pretty much all the filings that we have got. That covers the information for the company. Let's go take a look at the chart. DBGI. Yeah, I don't always remember it in the 3 seconds it takes to get over here. Oh, come on. There we go. Okie doke. Let's kick this back to a year. Well, ooh, she's deep underneath that 200, but look, it's going flat right now. Our 52-week high without any reverse stock splits is $12.80. And our price right now is like 12.7 cents. We are way down there. She has just been slowly dribbling downhill. I'm going to get rid of these so we can see what's going on down there. Clear drawing set, please. And there's our 52-week low at 8 cents, which hit at the beginning of this month. So we went from $12 down to 8 cents, and now we're up to 12 cents. We've jumped 50%. Is she actually setting up? Well, she is between both 200s. What I want to see is that get up on top of the 50. That would be the move. Now, once she gets on the 50, I would expect some volatility, even a drop back down to the 200 when it turns blue. This is just about ready to go flat too. When it goes blue, we could see the price drop down to it and get smacked right up to and through the 200. That's what I like to look for. Our oscillators are warming up right now, but there's not a whole lot going on there. Now, everything I'm telling you is normally what I look for on the 4-hour chart, not the 1 year. I am a 4-hour guy. We've got our downtrend. She is trying to level off right now. She still has some fall to her. We're not going to cheat this, but she is definitely leveling off right now. There's our 200 haul underneath. She is sitting on top of her 50 right now. Folks, I would be watching for a jump. This looks ready for a bounce to me. I mean, it could drop to the 200 here, or it could just jump from here. But either way, I'm thinking this is ready to go. All we need is that volume, and she's going to burst. Take a look at our 20-day 1-hour view. We were above the 200 20 days ago at 34 cents. Came down. Look at that scallop. What a nice scallop there. Came back down, hit the low. Slowly riding her 50-day MA. She crossed the 200, dipped under it here, and she's just been working around the 200. It's not like she's deciding to go up or down. She's just working on the level. You see how it's falling? Here it goes flat. Now it's starting to climb. When it goes flat, you're going to see jumps. You're going to see climbs. You're going to see bounces. That's when all the crazy changes start to happen. And when your 200 starts to climb, then you start looking for the MAs, all the MAs to start turning up, our oscillators to start turning up. With your 200 turning up, that's when you're going to get your run. Right now, she is coming down. She is working to stay on top of the 50. Our oscillators are, they're struggling right now. We are at that point to where she's just trying to hang on. Looks like she wants to climb. She's in the right position on the long chart. She just hasn't got any volume right now, no excitement, but she is sitting in a nice place. All right, was that my 5-minute? No, we got one more chart to go down. So there you are on top, underneath, breaking it. Right there is where she went flat, right? There is no doubt about that. She's falling there and she's climbing here. Just at the bell and before the bell, or the pre-market period here. What a rip. She went from 9 cents initially to 17 cents, all the way up to 20 cents before coming back down. I always tell everybody over at Penny Boys, if you happen to get into a trade pre-market, aftermarket, I would get out pre-market, aftermarket. Don't try to carry a stock that's been climbing in this dark period through the bell of the next day. Most of the time they fall. And the reason is because the people that don't play aftermarket, pre-market, soon as the bell happens, they see where the stock is at, way up. So the first thing they're going to do is take profits. They were down here, right? Or maybe down here. And now they come back and it's way up there. So they're going to take profits. It's going to fall first thing. Not a guarantee, but I count on it. Once she falls, then you could get back into it if you know she's got a lot going for her. You didn't want to abandon her here, so get back in after she drops. Take your gains up here. She falls, starts to climb, get back in, ride it up again. That's what I do. So DBGI is not looking bad, actually. She is riding that 200 beautifully. Right there are our MAs. She's sitting on the 50. Our 200 is about ready to go flat. This is all priming up right now. This is priming up. Between the long chart and this chart, she isn't looking bad. I like DBGI's chart right now. That is looking good. What time is it? I haven't even looked. It is 5:11. Well, I got time to say hi. Last bets here, folks. I think. Hey, we got some new comments. Thebes is here. Hello, Thebes. You forgot again. Dude, you're lucky we record these. That's all I can say. Actually, I'm unlucky. Every goof up I've ever made is posterity now. It's out there on YouTube. Hey, John, had a brain fart today? No, have not had a brain fart today yet. But don't go jinxing me, dude. It ain't over yet. Oh, God, fingers crossed. Greetings, everyone. MBS. You're just in time. I haven't made a mistake yet, so bets are real high. Odds are way up there right now. Cha-ching! Okay, I do have one more stock that was given to me. Let's jump into this real quick. I'm hitting my button. Dun, dun, I'm hitting my button. All right, we are over here looking at EYENI Novia Inc. This came to me by way of Kashera. Thank you, Kashera. She came late and she got it in there just in time. Inovia. This is an American company based out of New York. Finished today at 10.5 cents. She was up 13.75% today. Like every other stock we've looked at, she too is on the NASDAQ. So what is this company about? Well, this company is involved with ophthalmology. They deal with developing and commercializing products, leveraging their proprietary OptJet topical medication dispensing platform. The OptJet is targeted at chronic front of the eye diseases due to its ease of use, enhanced safety and tolerability, and potential for superior compliance. This is what we're talking about over here, right there. That's the product, and you hold this in front of your eye. Oh, you got pictures. I didn't know you had pictures. There you go. This is what you do with it. Dun, 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 dun. Now is it there? It just sprayed. Psst. It put a little bit of spray right into your eye. So that's the product that they have, but they also have another product. I don't know anything about it. That one there, the Mid-Combi, because you care. So they've got a couple of products. They've got drops that, you could just use the drops or you can use the machine. So what information do we have here? Well, they are working on phase 3 trial for their clobestol. I am not going to try it again. And that's what most of this news has been about right up to here. Provides an update on their phase 3 chaperone study. I have not dove into this, folks. I don't know if they've just completed it. I don't know if I'm looking. Company to discontinue study, review full data set, and evaluate next steps. What's this? Review study of independent data review committee found chaperone is not meeting its primary 3-year efficacy endpoint. This is what I was talking about. This is bad, folks. When you have something that's gone through all those trials, you put all that money out for, and then it doesn't pass, yikes. So I'm glad we dove into this because I was presuming it was good news. And obviously, it's not good news. I think that's all that there is over here. Oh, boy. And is she up or down? And she's up today? That news came out a week ago. So I'm going to be interested to see what the chart looks like on the 15th of November when that news came out. Inova plunges as late-stage trial for myopia treatment fails. Well, there you go. I don't have to wonder. I've already been told. But she's bouncing back, right? Let's see what we have over here in disclosures. Well, I got something else poked up here. A disclosure. All right, this has to do with their financials. It seems that they've got a lot of debt right now, and it's really pulling them down. As of November 19th, Inova had cash and cash equivalents of $700,000. The company is in discussions with Avenue Capital Management regarding a potential restructuring of the amounts that are owed to them. It is over $10 million. As previously disclosed, the company is also continuing to consider a variety of steps to maximize value to all stakeholders, to reduce expenses, and to evaluate its strategic options, which may include a business combination, reverse merger, asset sales, or a combination of these. So they haven't exactly said they're going to do anything, but they need to do something. They've got too much debt. They're looking at restructuring it right now, and the penalties and interest are accruing on it. It's a problem. So we could see something popping up here. They are motivated to do something to help themselves. They say they're doing it for the stakeholders. I say they're doing it for themselves. Now, that's the one I just read to you. We got another 8K here that came out on the 15th. This probably has to do with the bad news. Yes, bad news for the 3-year FSC. And then we have an investor, an SC13G. Somebody has just bought into the company. This Armistice Capital is now an insider for the company. They're not management, but they are part owner. They have now purchased 10% of the company. That's a good thing. You know, with all that's going wrong, to see somebody actually stepping in and buying something, that's good. Get out of here. All right, let's see what we have for relative volume for this company. If I can get it to come back up. Too many windows open, way too many windows. All right, we are looking at an explosion. Look at that. She went from about 4 million shares to about 450% over that, 17.5 million shares today. That's nice and juicy. I wonder if she has a low share count. Nah, I mean, it's not a bad share count, but it's not a low share count. Outstanding shares, we got about 86 million. I don't know what the insiders own, so I don't know what the float is either, but it isn't going to be higher than 86 million. And anything under 100 million isn't a bad float. Market cap for the company, we're just under 6 million. Is IN making any money? I was expecting them to be making money. All right. I don't know if this is their money or not. I don't know what went on years ago, but there was revenues then. 2022 is probably when this company died and the new company came in. I'm just guessing. At the end of 2023, they had $3,000 and it cost them $3,000 to make it. So they made no money. Quarterly, what's up with that? 1,000, 2,000, 4,000. They're not doing anything. If you've got products, why aren't you making any money? Are none of these products available on the market for sale yet? I mean, I thought for sure something was out there. So they're not just not making money, they're losing money too. They made $1,000 and it cost them $132,000 to make $1,000. Go home, quit your job. That isn't going to work. Balance sheet. We got about 7.1 million in the bank. How about that? 23 million in assets, only 19 in liabilities. So we are holding positive stockholder equity of 3.7 million. We're not making any money. Looks like they've got some products, but they're not selling them yet. I don't know what's going on there, folks. Some more due diligence is going to be required. And I do believe that covers everything because we started with the disclosures. So let's go check out the chart for EYEN. Let's see how bad she fell on the 15th. Bad enough for them to put it in the news. I'm going to guess that's it right there. Yep, that's the 15th. And look, it happened all pre-market. So people who got out of, who quit trading here, came back the next day and saw it here and said, what the blazes happened? And most people don't read filings, so, they probably weren't catching up on the news, not having any clue what happened. Let's go all the way back to a year. Let's see what she looks like. Wow, she's been in a downtrend. I'm actually going to kick this back 3 years. All right, what date is that? That's the 21st. So that is 3 years ago. She's been in a downtrend all this time with a high of $5.85. I do believe that hit. Nope, that was a multi-year high. Our 52-week high is $2.57, and we just hit our 52-week low yesterday of 8.3 cents. So she's had a couple breakthroughs, but she isn't staying up there. Look at this. I mean, this was beautiful. She came down. She was underneath all of the MAs, walked straight across, did not climb, and she got on top of her MAs, bounced off of the 200 haul right there. You can see that's a perfect bounce off to and through the 200. And it looks like it could have broke out there, but it was still actually falling. Darn, does that look like she was ready to run? Would have tricked me. Came all the way back down, and she went back into that tailspin. And then on the 15th, she had another drop, putting her all the way down here on the floor, and she's underneath everything right now. Nothing looks good on the yearly chart. Our 4-hour chart, that ain't looking very good either. So after our fall here, she has been going sideways. It's the best you can do. You've got to go sideways and wait. You can't start climbing. You might be able to get on top of your 9, but where are you going to go after that? Each one of these MAs is a bar, is a branch on the tree. She can't climb up any higher if the branches are too far. So she's got to wait until these branches catch up to her. So she has to stop falling, and the best she can do is go sideways and wait. Well, here you go. Here comes our 20-day, and we see excitement. Yay, finally something here. Now, she may get up on top of that 20 and bounce around, but chances are she needs more support. She needs more help. So she's going to wait for our 200 haul and our 50 to come down. Then she'll probably make a bigger move, my best guess. Oscillators are looking good. Our PPO is climbing up, and my ADX is going down. When you see these two spreading apart, that's why I put them next to each other. When you see them spreading apart, it is a guarantee 100% that your price is climbing. And when the two of them are coming together, it's a guaranteed 100% your price is falling. Look right here. Come straight down. See, well, you can't see there. Now, this can go in either direction. The ADX is your trend continuation. When there is a straight line, it means whatever trend is on the board is continuing. So whatever trend was happening here, it was going sideways. That was the trend, sideways. Now she's going up. It's starting to go up. So the trend line just follows the trend. It's not about up or down. But when you see them coming together, the price is falling. When you see them going apart, the price is climbing. MACD is climbing. Our RSI has come out of the basement. Thank God. Things are looking like she's on an upturn right now. Take a look at our 20-day 1 hour. She's got a long wait here, folks. All right, she's caught up to everything, right? Our 20, she didn't bounce. Here's our 200, a little bounce. Our 50, nothing. She's come down to the 200. She's come back up to the 50, but that is way too far for her to be jumping. To go from 13 cents to 33, it just ain't going to happen. She's either got to wait for that 200 to come all the way down, or she's got to get this 200 here to slap her. And I don't think that's going to happen until it goes flat. So I think this is going sideways for a while now. You may get some bouncing in here, but I don't think she's going to get over this. Let's take a look at our 5-day, 15-minute. We've got some hope here for some bounces. This might be a scalp. She's not going to probably run. She didn't break out here, right? This is right when the 200 caught up. She ignored it and ran from it. Came back down, and right now She has worked off of that 200 haul. She's gotten up onto the 200 MA, and everything is starting to climb. So we could see a push here, but I don't think we're going to see an actual breakout simply because this breakout, we're on a 30-minute. This is at 19 cents. She could do this. The more I look at this, the more it looks like I want to put this on my watch list. 200 hauls climbing, sitting on the 50, 200 above her head, she's climbing. Volume is in the picture. Oscillators are all climbing in the overbought. I've just sold myself on it, folks. EYEN looks like she's ready to break out. The long chart looks really bad, but the short chart looks like we could get a good jump out of it. Now, we're not talking about a forever run here. I don't know if she'll get back up to here, but that would be her point of return. That is at 34 cents. This is where she'd push up to get to, but you got to remember, she fell for good reason, or should I say bad reason, because her drug failed, and they're abandoning the study. They're not going forward with it. So it's not like we have anything to recover with. We need some good news here. So she's going to try to climb, but I just don't know if she has the motivation to actually do it. All right, there you go. Ticker EYEN. Jumping back here, what time is it? All right. I've got time for one, folks. I see we got SFIX and Sybil on the board. How long is the show now? Very good question. We haven't got time to get to all the stocks. I know I never have time to get to them all, but I did make a comment, and I'm looking here. Wow, look at that. MBS, you're the first one to give me a stock since Carol. Carol got it in there just before the show started, and not one person dropped me a stock during the show. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, Mr. Leahy 617. It's hidden there, BIEI. They just had big PR. It's a real mouthful, and I can't make heads or tails of it. Oh, doggone it. Oh, Quasi, I wanted to look at you. You know what? I don't want you to be mad, Carol. QSI, we were playing QSI today. It had a lot of attention. I can't remember. We normally don't even look at the news. When we're over there at Penny Boys, we're just playing the charts. Somebody might look at the news and bring it in, but we have no clue. So I don't know why QSI was hot today. I think she took a fall. We quit watching her because she quit getting hot. So I think I'm going to move away from QSI. Sorry, Carol. But I do want to talk about BE. Where is it? Where'd you go? Oh, my God. I'm looking for it, folks. Is that it? Yes. All right. So we want BIEI. 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 Don't forget that. At my age, you never know. BIEI. All righty. It's a pink. Okay. It's not on the NASDAQ. How about that? BIEI, Premier Biomedical. Oh, no. I jumped into a biotech. That's my bad. All right, so let's jump over to the company's profile. This is a company out of the United States, out of California. She finished the day at an interesting price, 0009. That means she's going to 001 next, which is a beautiful buying price for a stock that's climbing. Get in at 001, she hits 002, which is that much of a move on the chart. You just did 100% gains. She goes to 005, you just did 500% increase. So yeah, buying on 001 is nice, but you just don't buy it because it's at 001. You buy it because you believe the stock is going to rise. She was up today 5.8%. She is on the pink. She is current. This is the bottom tier of the OTC. This is the riskiest tier. Take it from someone who knows. I'm not just saying that because everyone else says it. I'm telling you, it's the truth. The reason pinks are dangerous is because there's no validated information, no information you can really put to use down here to tell you about the company. Fundamentals, well, the financials are just tallies. No CPA looks at them. They just give us tallies to management, and we got to figure stuff out. So we have no idea what's going on. No filings, 8Ks, 6Ks, none of that. All you get are news presses. I traded on news presses for 2-3 years with pinks and lost over $40,000 because most of what they say are lies. They don't follow through. They do what they do to get the stock to run, and then they back out of the deal, and it just doesn't happen. So be very cautious with pinks, folks. If you're going to play them, stay them in as little amount of time as possible. So what is this company about? Well, first off, they've got a transfer agent verified. That's validated information, but we don't have a validated profile. I don't know why. They say they're a shell risk. That says that they're in business and that they should be making revenues, but they're not reporting any. That normally can be the case, but they passed a new rule here. If a company makes an acquisition and acquires assets in the acquisition, that constitutes business. So maybe they've made a deal here. So what is the company about? Premier Graphene is engaged in high-grade graphene production and manufacturing of graphene-enhanced products. Its principal focus currently is state-of-the-art, new generation ballistic gear. I think we covered this a couple weeks ago. This sounds awfully familiar to me. Matter of fact, let's see over here, because I was saying bullets. I remember, because that's what just came to my mind, what was bullets. Oil and gas brokerage. What the heck? Black Argentine. Well, this is a little different from what they got going on over here. They're talking about graphene. We expect to be one of the leading companies in our field and huge aid to the Western world's defense, aerospace, and green energy sectors. Do you got anything here about oil? We intend to manufacture products which harness these unique features, uniquely suited for our graphene electronic vehicle batteries, making the cost of such vehicles drastically reduced up to 90% cost reduction. I'm a little confused here. Maybe the news will set us straight. Said a piece of news came out today, huh? Well, it came out yesterday. Let's take a look at this. Premier Graphene completes joint venture with leading technology and systems development company, Zidar. All right. Is it oil or is it graphene? Uh-oh, there you go. Premier Graphene, formerly Premier Biomedical, that's a big change, announced today the completion of a joint venture between publicly traded Premier Graphene and Zidar and two other parties. So we got 3 parties, 4 parties. Yeah, we've got our company, CV, and 2 other parties. So we got 4 parties involved here. With over 3 decades of operational growth, Zidar is at the forefront of technology and systems development in Mexico. The company is also pioneering the development of blockchain technology in Mexico. What is your business? Founded by the Mexican businessman Alfonso Perez, Zidar offered $16 billion in cryptocurrency in 2022 to buy Banana Mex. Banana Mex was purchased by Citigroup for $12.5 billion. Huh, that's interesting. Zidar, the creator of Amero cryptocurrency, is at the technological forefront of creating environmentally responsible cryptocurrencies. This is a huge change. We've gone from medical to graphene to oil to cryptocurrency. God. As part of the joint venture, HIG Industrial Technologies will issue 10% of its authorized Series A stock to Zidar. Zidar will issue in kind 10% of its authorized Series A to HGI. The purpose of the joint venture is to raise funds for both companies. Premier Graphene will lease 5,000 hectares at reduced price in the state of Sonora, where 2 large deposits of graphite are located. Okay. Premier will grow industrial hemp for its graphene production and sublease the land with graphite deposits for the development of high-grade graphene, in which Premier, you're not kidding, this is mind-boggling, dude. This is very mind-boggling. All right, so we're talking growing hemp for the use of graphene. I didn't know hemp could be used for graphene. We just seen their website talking about oil and cargo ships carrying oil. We haven't done a deep dive there. We are now talking about this new company that they're doing a joint venture with, working with cryptocurrency, but it looks like Premier Graphene might be renting land to the company? We're going to have to do some more diving into this, folks. There's quite a lot that is going on, but to tell exactly what's happening here, what do they say about the company down here? Premier Graphene and its Mexican affiliate, HDI Industrial, created is a proprietary scalable method to create high quality, low cost graphene out of industrial hemp. Yeah, the company plans on creating proprietary graphene colloids that can address billion-dollar markets such as the cement industry. The company also enjoys the capacity to create proprietary best-in-class graphene-enhanced lubricants and epoxies. God almighty! The company's initial rollout will focus on markets that require small capital expenditures. For example, and in the case of the cement industry, the company will sell its graphene suspensions to existing multinational cement manufacturers. Wowsy, wowsy, wowsy. So there's a lot going on here, folks. Obviously, this company is working with graphene coming from hemp, focusing on lubricants and the cement industry. So they've got things going on. Let's check the other news. See if there's anything here. Premier Graphene's Mexico affiliate and business partner executes a joint venture, receives confirmatory concrete mortar test results. That sounds good. Premier Graphene and Defense Atomic announces strategic partnership for advanced solutions in ballistic protection. That's more like what I was thinking. The company's proprietary graphene modified asphalt demonstrates substantial stability and performance improvements compared to conventional asphalt in laboratory tests. Wow. Look, cement and asphalt, these are huge commodities in this country, folks. We tear up blacktop and reuse it because it's so expensive. So the company's involved in a lot of things here. We've got a lot of different companies that are aligning with them. And that's always good to me. When I see other companies joining a company, that's like doing my due diligence for me. You know, those companies have done their due diligence. And if they're going to join, I probably feel pretty good about it. All right, let's take a look at some disclosures. See if there's anything over there we can snag up. We've got the most recent financial here. I wouldn't expect too much information in it considering it's a disclosure. And then we've got nothing down here since 2021. That's what comes with Pinks. You don't get any disclosures or filings. So what is the relative volume? It's double. We're more than twice what she normally does, jumping from 1.7 million to 3.7 million today. Share structure. Oh, God. Outstanding share count is really high, and it's so high that they pretty much broke their authorized share bank. They have 1.1 billion shares they can put on the market. They have 1.098. Just a few shares left in the bank. They have nothing to put out. If they needed more money, they can't do a public offering. They don't have any shares. If they want to do a deal with the company and give them some shares, they've got no shares. So they have to do one of two things. They either have to do a request for authorized share increase, get more shares, put them in the bank that way, or call them all back in, do a reverse stock split, and all those shares go right back in there. Well, they've got 239,000 shares. We get a billion. We get all those shares. If they do a reverse stock split, they get hit too. So when you think about it, nobody wants a reverse stock split. It is a forced issue. Now, the only time I would consider it is when they start approaching a penny. If the stock's been running for 2 or 3 days, it's gone from 0.001, it's closing in on a penny, watch it. See if they voted on one. You could go through 8Ks, but you can just find it easier by going to Google, putting in the company's name and the ticker, put in the word split, vote, meeting, like that. If they have voted on it and approved it, it's going to be there waiting to happen, and they only have to give us a 5-day notice. Now, that's what they say the rules are, but I have been seeing, we have been getting 2 and 3-day notices on a lot of these reverse stock splits. So that could be in the works right now, and when they start climbing, I'd watch for it. Again, if you're going to be in a pink, don't be in them for long. Take your gains and get the heck out. Let's see. Outstanding share count, financials. Are they making any money? No, not a penny. Anything on the quarterlies? No, we got nothing. And I'm afraid to look at this balance sheet. Oh, see, that's what I was expecting to see here. We got nothing in the bank. No type of assets. Up here, we've got $3,000 in plant equipment. Psh, your car costs more than that, for God's sake. And that's all their assets, is that one piece of equipment sitting in some office somewhere. Liabilities, $2.5 million. Whoa. Whoa. All right. We should have $2.5 million in deficit. We've got $13 million. $13.5 million in stockholder assets, in equity. Something came in here, capital surplus, but that's been here all along. That's been here all this time. And this is what's changed. It was at 17 million, this retained earnings, and it dropped down to 1.8. And somehow this 15 million got flipped over. So with everything looking the way it does, we do have stockholder equity here of 13.5 million. But to put this into perspective, you've got to take all those shares, 1 billion shares, and divide that into this. And that will give you an equity-based price for your stock. I don't know if it's even that high. And I think that covers everything, right? Right. We had no filings for this stock. So let's go take a look now at ticker BIEI. Hopefully we don't have barcode. BIEI. With these stocks down in the triple zeros, you normally just get barcodes, picket fences. It goes along sideways for long periods of time. Well, this has actually had some activities. That doesn't look like it was a triple zero stock. So we have a 52-week high here of 0069, and we have an ultimate low, that's surprising, of 0005. I would have swore it would have hit 0001. Off of that 0005, we jumped. We got up on top of our 50, bounced off the 200 here to get up on the 200 MA, the 200 Hall to the 200 MA, and has just been following this. Yes, we have had some roll around, but you can see she always comes back down to that 200. That's her home. She's just not going anywhere. Same thing here. So the best you can do is catch this stock on a run and get out of it before she comes back down. Let's come on down to our 4-hour, 6-month. So what sort of bounces are we getting here? She's going from that 0009, which is where we're at right now, up to 0017. Not a big run. It's not really even scalp worthy. That's a bounce there. You'd have to have a big holdings. You'd have to be buying quite a lot of shares to be making any profit off of that bounce. So she has been bouncing around the 200. She's under the 200. She's actually got a green bar coming up now, but everything is pushing down. Every single MA, 200. The only one that's not pushing down is our 9-day, which she is trying to get on top of. Our oscillators are fighting to come up right now, actually. We have just a hint of climb on our PPO. MACD is coming up. RSI is climbing. So on our long chart, we do actually see some heat building up here. Take a look at our 20-day 1 hour. That's sideways activity if ever I saw it, and a dip. Now we had a dip here. She dropped down to the 200 Hall, came back up. She's come down to the 200 Hall, came underneath the 200 Hall, and now is jumping back up. This could be an early breakout. I tell you, she likes to ride the 50 when she's between these two 200s. I've said this numerous times. And she oftentimes will drop down to the 200, even breaking it, and then bouncing up, and she will go all the way to and through the 200. So this is actually looking like an early setup to me. And the oscillators say she's building up heat. My PPO is climbing. My MACD is climbing. My RSI is climbing. Nothing looks super hot, but it is getting into position. Take a look at our 5-day, 15-minute. Yeah, nothing to really see there. sideways, dip, bounce. And the same thing. We've got all of our oscillators showing a little bit of heat. Everything is starting to come up, and it has been falling for a while. So everything is starting to change right now. So BIEI, it could be a good time to watch it. Now, I'm not crazy about the information we read about the company. I need a little more, and I would like to see some money, outside of equity. That's good. I'm glad they've got equity. But the company should have some revenues on the books. They should have revenues coming in, and we should quit paying them. That's all we're doing right now is paying them. But the chart says something's about ready to happen, so I'm going to be putting BIEI on my watch list. I don't think we're going to play it at Penny Boys, but on my personal watch list, I'm going to put it over there. Are we good? Yeah. Whew. I was sweating there. I was just waiting to find something went wrong. What time is it? 5:45. Oh, my God. That's it, folks. We don't have time to do any more, and I left that up the entire time. Can't even slap myself right. I appreciate your time, folks. I appreciate the comments. I wish Taylor had been here because she talks to you guys a heck of a lot more. I wish I could, but just imagine how long the show would be or how few stocks we would look at. So hopefully I shared something here with you today. Maybe you weren't interested in the stocks, but maybe I gave you some trading insights. And speaking of trading insights, the last thing I want to say before I go is join me over at Penny Boys, folks. It is a free member page. We're not hard selling you over there. We'll tell you we have coaching. We'll tell you about our premium package, but we're not trying to sell you. We want you to see what we do, and we want you to learn. So every day we're over there scalping, as I've been talking about, setting up trades with our entries, sell for a profit, and our stop loss. We're finding runners, we're setting those trades up, and we're taking them. And you're invited to be there. Anybody, bring your hot tickers. Throw your ticker down. I'll go get some information and bring it back, and we can all trade it together. I love it, folks. It is so much more fun trading with you than just making videos for you. Trust me. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your loyalty. I appreciate all of you, folks. I will see you next week. Maybe alone, maybe not. I don't know. Thursday, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. See you then. I am